Hello and welcome. How are you doing today? Today we are testing and test driving this new Volvo S60 car, where is gasoline engine and automatic transmission. And here you will see this interior, and this car is very good quality and seats are very comfortable, and this car is very heavy materials. And okay, and next we are planning to start this car, and here is this key, and I insert that key in here in this way, and then I need to press this button in here, and I press that button again, and now this motor starts. And there is then this Volvo's, we can look a little bit this Volvo's climate and fan system, and here is this temperature setting, what we can set up in here, temperature. And then there is interesting this Volvo's part that when I like to get this air in this my head area, I can select in here this things in here, and now it seems that there is no any this light in here, but in this I can select this in head, and this is like central area, and here is my below and foot area. And then when I rotate this fan speed, then I can adjust this fan speed. And then there is of course this max window and air condition, and then there is very interesting thing. There is this heated steering wheel, and this is nice when I press that, and this is like, and then this steering wheel, this is quite warm, and this is like something like 30 Celsius, and it means something like 80 or 90 those Fahrenheit, this temperature, and this is quite warm, and this is very useful when you live in cold areas. Okay, and then by the way, when you like to change those gears, you press first in here and then in normal this D position. And here is then parking control, and this inside air and rear window, and there are those menu settings, and here is radio, and here was those heated seats in there, and also in this passenger side also. Okay, and then we start to little bit drive, and I change this gear in reverse. And actually now it's in parking, and we look that I change this in reverse now. It is in there, and then we can look this dashboard, and this dashboard looks very futuristic, and like there is this in here we can see those parkings, those transmission settings. Now we are in this drive position, and then I change this manual gears, and then I change to neutral in here, and this is reverse, and then this is parking. Okay, and then here is this turn meter. It works in like that, and then there is this eco guide that how much this consume, and here is fuel level, and this was that dashboard. Okay, and then I do a little bit reverse. Okay, and then I insert this gear stick in here in this D position. Now it's in parking and now it's in D, and then we start to drive in this heated seat. Okay, and now, okay, and then we take a little bit acceleration test at full throttle, and motor is this 1.6 liter turbo engine with automatic transmission, and this response is very good, and there is power, and this is like now this slow cruising, and there is this eco guide, and then we are going to drive this car in highway drive. Okay, and then this steering wheel, what is in here, this steering wheel is very nice grip, and it is leather steering wheel, and very nice to handle, and nice comfort in this steering wheel, and steering is also very accurate, and this motor changed those gears nicely, and this car feels like very solid, and it's like made in pure steel, like Volvo cars are normally very safe cars, especially in accidents, because they have so much this steel. Okay. And we continue. Okay, and then there is possibility to set up this this dashboard display in 3 themes, and this is the second theme, what name is Sport, and this is like now sport car, and there is now we have this acceleration, it is like in turns, and then speed also, and this is like turns in here, and there is speed, and this is nice thing in this Volvo. Okay, and let's look at how this works when we go to highway drive. And in those positions we can set up in this wheel in here, where is this stick in here, we can just rotate this wheel, and then there is enter in here, it's okay. And now we can see that there is this when I a little bit kick force, this Volvo reacts really nicely. And now we are going to highway drive. Okay, and we continue. Okay, and then we can also notice those temperature settings in here, because there is this dashboard that it tells that now I have 21 Celsius, and seats are heated, and fan speed, and now air is coming out and out, up, and this is nice to know. And then I think that we can take this acceleration test, and this means that 0 to 100 and how this Volvo works, and now next we take that. Okay, and next we take this acceleration test 0 to 100 and 0 to 65 miles, and let's go. Okay, and now 100 went. Okay, and we can continue this highway cruising. And this Volvo feels very hard this body. There is no any sounds in body, and this car goes very nicely those jumps and bumpy things, and this is good quality highway car. And then I insert this little bit air to those windows, and there is this nice speed meter, and then I do a little bit. There is cruise and power is like 50%. And then I do acceleration test in motorway drive, and motor takes nicely more speed. Okay, and next I am planning to set up this cruise, and it happens so that I insert that button, and then there happens cruise text, and then I only insert that plus or minus, and now there is 112 kilometer speed. And this Volvo's handling is nice, and this steering wheel rotation and changing happens very easily, and this car is nice to drive, and this suspension works very well. Motor is also very responsibility car, responsibility motor, and it responds those throttle signals. I am planning to test this manual change, and I change this stick in here, and I then move these gears, and I noticed that there is this gearbox symbol just in here. There is this symbol area where those numbers are changing, and I can change those gears. There is now number 1 and 2 because we are in idle, but when we start to drive, there is then possibility to change more gears. Okay, and now I change this in normal and then manual shifts. Okay, and we continue soon. Okay, and next I am planning to test that how these gears works when I do acceleration, and I will change those gears a little bit more, and we test that how this acceleration happens. Okay, and now I and there is and number 2 is there, and number 3, 4, 5, and there is 6 gears. And now I am driving this number 6, and there is speed something like 70. Let's look at how this motor keeps this number 6 even, that it vibrates a little bit, this motor. Now it changes, and I turn those gears again, and now there is 6 speed in this automatic transmission. Okay, and now I a little bit change those gears in smaller, and then this interesting power signal moves in there. Okay, and now there is normal gearbox mode. Okay, and we continue. Okay, and next we are listening this Volvo's motor sound, and this motor is 1.6 liter turbocharged charged engine, and I start the engine. Okay, and this was the sound of this motor, and then we can look a little bit more closer view. Okay, and here is this Volvo's motor, and there is this power steering fluid. There is this here you can add this coolant, and there is where you can add motor oil. There is oil stick that you can measure that how much you have oil in this Volvo, and here is alternator. And in here you can add those washer fluid, and there is battery in here, and there is this motor, and just in there behind there is turbocharger. Okay, and this was this Volvo's test drive, and thank you for watching.